Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students of BBA Honors Third Year, Department of Marketing, Mohammadpur Kendriya College, Dhaka. After a long break, as you know, I have a throat problem. I could not attend your important classes. However, I am quite comfortable now and joining the class. I would like to welcome all of you from Mohammadpur Kendriya College as well as from the Department of Marketing. As you know, everything is marketing, everywhere is marketing. My dear students, I have prepared a class based on financial management for the student of BBA third year, chapter 8, capital structure determination. Before going to the main topics, I would like to introduce myself. I am S.M.Rokibuzzaman, Associate Professor, Department of Marketing, Mohammadpur Kendriya College, Dhaka. My dear students, I am not showing my face today because I need the screen clear, so that I am using the lecture from the behind screen. Okay, let's start. Lecture number 1. As you know, this is very big chapter and I need to complete at least 4 or 5 lecture of this chapter for your understanding, total understanding. So let's start. Capital structure determination. First, let's see what is capital structure. Capital structure is a mixture of long-term capital by using common stock, preferred stock, bond or debenture, or finance through retained earnings. We have another slide of the definition of capital structure, but earlier we need to know the important topics of this chapter. After learning this chapter, you will be able to define what is capital structure, what is optimum or optimal capital structure. You can define characteristics of the capital structure. You can explain importance of capital structure. You can explain the factors determining of capital structure. You can understand EBIT EPS approach. You can understand indifferent point of EBIT and also the break-even point. And finally, the most important, a little bit difficult, 3 theories of this capital structure decision. One is a net operating income approach, net income approach, and Modigliani and Miller hypothesis, widely known as MM approach. So my dear student, definition of capital structure. Earlier I informed you that capital structure is the structure or a mixture for formulation of the long-term capital by using common stock, by using preferred stock, by using bond or debenture, or by using retained earning of the company. As you know, in the business world there are 3 jobs mainly. One is start of a business or establishment of a business. Second thing, operation of business. And third one is expansion of business. This is the business. And to do this business, we need capital. That is called finance. So if you want to start up a business, you need initial capital or primary capital. If you want to operate the business, you need working capital. And finally, if you want to expansion of your business, you need additional capital. So in every cases, you need capital to operate a business. Without capital, no business can run. even a single period of time. So my dear student, you need to formulate a capital. And also, you know, business can run in 3 dimensions: short term, mid term, and long term. And we are talking about long term financing, that is called capital structure. So capital structure is the way how can a financial manager can formulate a capital structure. Let's see the official definition provided by James Van Horn. Capital structure is regarded as the proportion of debt and equity. Look, James Van Horn emphasizes on 2 sources for capital structure. One is debt and one is equity. Equity means common stock, debt means debenture or bond. But overall, capital structure is a way of long-term capital form. Capital structure is the formulation of long-term capital from different sources like issuing common stock capital, bond or debenture, preferred stock, finance through retained earnings. So what we get from the light of the statement, and how can we finally conclude the definition of capital structure? Very easy. Capital structure is the mixture of different sources of long-term sources, such as equity share, preference share, debenture, long-term loan or retained earnings. So my dear student, before to start this chapter, I have completed another chapter named Cost of Capital, in where I showed you the sources of capital and how to determine the cost of capital. But in the capital structure, we don't have to find out the cost. But in order to know the best option, we need to know the cost of different sources of capital. For example, if you issue common stock, you have to pay dividend to the shareholders. If you issue bond or debenture, you have to pay interest to the borrower. If you issue preferred stock, you have to pay preferred dividend to the preferred stockholder. Or if you want to finance through retained earnings, you have to engage with the opportunity cost. To get better one, you have to leave the another one. That will make another cost. So the problem is, you can use share capital, you can use debenture, you can use preferred stock, you can use retained earning. The question is, what will be the best capital structure? That is called optimum capital structure. Optimum capital structure is the capital structure at which the weighted average cost of capital is minimum and thereby the value of the firm is maximum. Simply, you can say minimum cost, maximum return. Minimum cost, maximum return is the theory of optimum capital structure. So, how can you know the minimum cost without determination? So, you need to determination of cost for issuing common stock, for issuing preferred stock, for issuing bond or debenture, or from retained earnings. And how can you know which one is the best for you? By determining earning per share. So, my dear student, optimum capital structure emphasize on to find which structure is providing maximum benefit for you and minimum cost for you. According to Periyasamy, the term optimum capital structure refers to the safest, I repeat, safest and the most economical capital structure. Finally, optimum capital structure may be defined as the capital structure or combination of debt equity. Especially they emphasize on debt and equity that leads to the maximum value of the firm. One thing, my dear student, there is a common dialogue in the business world that what should be the debt equity ratio for the business that will maximize the value of the firm. If you issue huge equity share, then you have to think your control may be handover, because many new shareholder will be join with you because you call them through issuing the common stock. On the other hand, if you emerged with the huge debt or debt capital, you have to involve with the huge cost, because if you may gain profit or not, no matter, but if you issue bond or debenture, you have to pay interest to the borrower. That is the threat for the business. For that reason, optimum capital structure emphasize on the proper combination between debt and equity. My dear student, I am going to the next slide. Now I will show you the characteristics of capital structure. As you know, the optimum capital structure can be properly defined as the mixture of securities which minimize the firm's cost of capital and maximize the firm's value. So our discussion area will be the target of optimum capital structure. So characteristics of capital structure, no, characteristics of optimum or optimal capital structure. The first thing is simplicity. The capital structure should be very simple so that even an ordinary businessman can understand the structure. If you make it very complex, then businessman cannot be read your mind or fail to know the composition of the capital structure done by your company. So it should be simple, it should be simplicity. Flexibility. You don't have to be rigid when you fix up your capital from the external or internal sources. It should be flexible so that you can change it, or you can make alternative use of the fund. When you develop a capital structure, you always think it should be profitable. Business run because of profit. So when you formulate your capital structure, you have to think about the profitability. If you want to make it profitable, then you have to think how to minimize the cost and how to maximize the return. Both are profitable. If you minimize the cost, it will be profitable. If you maximize the profit, must be profitable. And the next thing is solvency. Solvency means ability of the company. If you issue huge share, then you have to pay huge dividend to the shareholder. On the other hand, if you collect huge debt capital, you have to pay huge interest to the borrower. Both cases, solvency may be destroyed, but you need to use both sources for your company, but you have to think the solvency of your company, which will be the best for you. Control. Same thing. Control means the control made by the financial manager of the company. How can you control your capital structure? If you issue huge common stock or equity capital, huge shareholder will join with your company. They will provide their vote and they will keep pressure on your company. So huge share is a threat, is a anti-control system. On the other hand, if you use huge debenture, then the borrowers or the provider of debenture will advise you how to use your fund. For example, if you take a bank loan Bank will advise you what to do, when to do, how to do. This is the anti-control activities. So when you formulate the capital structure, always remember, don't break your control, and you should keep your control in your hand. In your hand means the hand of a financial manager. Another thing is conservation. The capital structure should be conservative in the sense that the debts shall not be raised beyond the certain limit. My dear student, I am mentioning you several times that if you use huge debt, you will fall in danger. So conservation means use of debt, the control level, the level you can tolerate. Don't cross your limit. So that conservation, I repeat, conservation is the sense that a debt shall not be raised beyond a certain limit, so that the company is in a position to repay the principal sum together with the interest due there in time. The thing is, if you issue huge debenture, that policy maybe destroy your firm or company, because if you fail to make profit during the year, the borrower cannot forgive you. They will demand the interest with the principal amount as well. So this is the problem. Economical. When you formulate the capital structure, always think it should be economical. Sufficient fund. You have to keep a sufficient fund for fixed or current activities. Sufficient fund means use of sufficient fund. Don't keep idle money. Don't keep deficit money. If you make a fund that was surplus, few portion of your fund will be idle. On the other hand, if you keep shortage, you have to make up through bank loan. That will make cost. So you have to use sufficient fund. Attraction. The structure should be attractive. Attractive means use of source should be attractive. And balanced leverage. Leverage means the empowerment of use of capital. The leverage is the power of using capital. Financial leverage and operating leverage, both are leverage. The financial manager have to show the power how to raise up a firm like a lever, and it is only it is possible only when the balanced leverage is used for formulation of capital structure. I am going to the next slide. The importance of capital structure, minimization of cost. You know, the past condition of a optimum capital structure is to minimization of cost. Cost must be minimized. Minimization of risk. You know, in the business world, various types of risk are occurring. Business risk, environmental risk, profit risk, trader risk, interest rate, share issuing risk. So you have to read the risk first and try to understand the risk and find out the way how can you minimize the risk. Capital structure shows how to minimize the risk. And number 3, maximization of return. The goal of a firm. What should be the goal of a firm? The goal of a firm is to maximize the wealth of the firm, or earning per share, or the benefit made for the stakeholder or shareholder. How can a financial manager can do it? By minimization of cost, by taking the strategical decision, and by minimizing the risk. Preservation of control. Preservation of control means keep the control in hand of the board of director of the company. Don't lose it. If you lose it, your company may fall in a trading position. So how can you control your company? Think about issuing common stock between issuing debenture. Make a combination between equity and debt capital. The best combination will help you to control no huge commercial issue or no huge debt capital issue. That will confirm the preservation of control. Proper liquidity. You know, in a company during a year you need liquid money to operate the current activities. You need to know how much money should you keep as a liquid money for a year. If you keep it more than you need, then you will be a loser, because the remaining portion of money cannot make profit. On the other hand, if you keep shortage of money as a liquid after 6 months or 7 months, then your money will be finished. Then you have to take a bank loan that will create cost. So proper liquidity ratio is the importance for capital structure. Full utilization. Don't keep your money idle. Always remember, in order to maximize the return, you have to utilize full of your fund, either fixed or current. Don't keep any money or any penny in idle. Simplicity. Capital structure is a simple method that can be understood by anyone, and it should be flexible. My dear student, you can take help from your book to understand. As you know, you have to answer all the questions of this paper in English version. So I'm trying to help you by making a lecture in English version. I can speak Bengali too, but I'm avoiding this because the lecture will be very large. Now, come to the point. According to syllabus, your concentrated area of this chapter is to know, is to find, is to determine the best alternative of the capital structure. To know or to identify the best option of your capital structure, we have many approaches. Now you are watching the slide is a EBIT EPS approach, in which you can calculate indifference point of EBIT and also can calculate the break-even point. My dear student, our target is to identify the best capital structure that we are calling optimum capital structure. How can we find the optimum capital structure is the question, and this is a mathematical problem that will help you to select the best option as a capital structure. Let us read the question. Suppose that the present capital structure of Mahi Vegetable Oil Limited is as follows. Common stock capital 80,000 share, 1 crore 28 lakh, and 12% debenture, taka 30 lakh. Total capital 1 crore 58 lakh. This is the existing capital structure of Mahi Vegetable Limited. But Mahi is a dynamic company. They want to expand their capacity of production. For that reason, they require an additional capital of taka 60 lakh. Look, the company is planning to expand its capacity that will require additional capital of taka 60 lakh. there are three alternative methods of financing. My dear student, look, 3 is a red color because I send you a PDF file where it was 4. Correct, make it correction. Now alternative 1, issuing 14% debenture. Alternative 2, issuing 12% preferred stock, issuing common stock at Taka 160 per share. In the question, it is mentioned that Mahi vegetable who are going to increase their capital by 60 lakh can do by using 3 sources. Can issue debenture, but they have to pay 14% interest. Can take preferred stock, but they have to pay 12% preferred dividend. And issuing common stock, the selling price of common stock is 160. Assuming 40% corporate tax rate and expected EBIT of Taka 15 lakh. If the company raise 60 lakh additional capital, company will get probable profit of Taka 15 lakh, that is called EBIT, earning before interest and tax, 15 lakh. Find out earning per share of under each alternative method of financing. There are 3 methods of financing and you have to calculate EPS, that is earning per share of each alternative. Which EPS is the best? You can know only when you will solve it. And requirement B, in different point of EBIT under method 1 and 3, you are also required to show the indifferent point in a graph paper. EBIT EPS approach indicate 3 things. 1, calculate EPS. 2, calculate indifferent point of EBIT between 2 alternatives. And number 3, show it in a graph paper with proof. So if you understand this question, you can answer the question in your National University examination. So my dear student, you need to know how can we solve it. Always remember, for example, think yourself you are Mahi vegetable oil. So already you have 1 crore 58 lakh Taka as a capital, in consisting of equity capital 1 crore 28 lakh and debenture 30 lakh. So how many share already you have? Already you have 80,000 share. And how many interest you have to pay for your existing capital? 3,60,000, because 30 lakh multiplied by 12%. That is, you have to pay right now after a year 3,60,000 interest. In that position, you are collecting 60 lakh new capital by using 3 sources: debenture, preferred stock and common stock. Which one is the best? We don't know yet, but when we determine EPS, everyone can see which one is the best. So how can we solve it? My dear student, look, first you have to work 3 things. Work 1, total interest. Work 2, total number of share. And work 3, preferred dividend. As you know, 3 sources. So we have to find 3 things. When you calculate total interest, always remember, in all alternative, existing interest will come. We'll add it. Look, alternative 1, alternative 2, alternative 3. Everywhere 3,60,000 3,60,000. Look, alternative 1, 3,60,000, alternative 2, 3,60,000, red writing, and alternative 3, 3,60,000. But let's back. Alternative 1, 14% debenture. Why? To collect 60 lakh. So, my dear student, in alternative 1, interest will be increased. 60 lakh multiplied by 14%. Look, add interest on new debt. Alternative 1, in alternative 1 you use debenture, so your interest will be increased and it will be 40 lakh. No, 40 lakh, 40 lakh, 40 lakh, no, 40 lakh, it will be 60 lakh. My dear student, I should make a correction. Please let me back. For example, you can turn it as a 60 lakh. No, 60 lakh, it is 40 lakh. That will help us. Otherwise, we have to change many things. Look, 60 lakh converted by 40 lakh, because if we keep it 60 lakh, total mathematical term will be changed. So it is better to keep it 40 lakh. For example, company needs additional 40 lakh capital for adjusting with the mathematical solution. Look, 40 lakh multiplied by 14%. 14% is rate, because in your PDF file it was 42 wrongly written, so that you make a correction. 40 lakh multiplied by 14%, that is 5,60,000. So alternative 1, total interest 9,20,000, and alternative 2 and 3, let's back. Alternative 2, preferred stock, so no interest. Alternative 3, common stock, so no additional interest. Only alternative 1, additional interest. So look, interest on existing debt 3,60,000, interest on existing debt 3,60,000. So three cost of interest has been calculated. Now, number of share. Again, back to the slide. Company already has 80,000 share. Okay, these 80,000 share is the part of 3 alternative. So look, everywhere 80,000 share is present. Alternative 1, 80,000, red signal. Alternative 2, 80,000. Alternative 3, 80,000 plus new number of share, because let's back. Alternative 3, issuing common stock. Not 1, not 2, only alternative 3, issuing common stock. So common stock will be increased like debenture. Number 3, new number of share 40 lakh divided by 160, because the number price of per share 160, 25,000. So 1,05,000 share for alternative 3. And finally, calculation of preferred dividend. As you know, there is no preferred stock in existing capital. Existing capital shows only 2 sources, common stock and debt capital. So there is no existing preferred stock capital. For that reason, only alternative 2 has to pay PD 40 lakh into 12%. Look, only alternative 2 issuing 12% preferred stock. So we are in position to do or to calculate EPS taking information from this slide. Look, this is the way to find the EPS. First, in the question, look, in the question, EBIT was given taka 15 lakh. Taka given 15 lakh. So my dear student, look, 15 lakh EBIT is given. So let's see the next slide. Working has done. 15 lakh for each alternative. If you use a debenture, EBIT will be 15 lakh. If you use preferred stock, EBIT will be 15 lakh. And if you issue common stock, EBIT will be 15 lakh. So how can you calculate EPS? First, EBIT, you have to subtract interest from EBIT, because earning before interest and tax means you have to subtract interest. 9,20,000, 3,60,000, 3,60,000. This part, this interest are subtracting from the amount of EBIT. Then EBT will be 5,80,000, 11,40,000, 11,40,000. So then we have to adjust tax. Given in the question, 40% tax. So 40% tax, 5,80,000 into 40%, eto. This one, 11,000, 40,000 multiplied by 0.40. So EAT, earning after tax. And then PD. PD only for alternative 2, not 1, not 3. EAT for equity holders. Then you can subtract, you can divide the EAT with the number of share which we collect from this part. 80,000, 80,000, 1,05,000. 80,000, 80,000, 1,05,000. So earning per share divided by 4.3 taka, 2.55 taka, 6.51 taka. So my dear student, maximum EPS is the optimum capital structure. Maximum EPS is the optimum capital structure. So if in the question which alternative should be chosen by the company and why, you should write alternative 3 should be chosen by the company as it has the highest or higher EPS than alternative 1 and 2. Alternative 1 and 2. So we got one thing, that is how can we determine EPS from the data. So my dear student, need to work hard. This is the existing capital structure. This capital is required by using these 3 technique or alternative. You can work from the data, total interest, total number of share and dividend, and then use the EBIT and find the EPS. The requirement 2 says indifference point of EBIT between alternative 1 and 2. It may be 1 and 3, it may be 2 and 3. The alternative 1 and 3, you have to make a indifferent point. Indifferent point of EBIT is a EBIT which make the EPS equal with this alternative. That is, you will find a different indifferent point of EBIT that will confirm the same EPS between these 2 alternatives. The formula is EBIT minus I1 minus 1 minus T minus PD, but I didn't write here because alternative 1 and 3 only alternative 2 has PD, but we have to show the indifferent point of EBIT between 1 and 3. So PD is out. So formula is EBIT minus 1T surface I1 surface 1 minus T divided by N1. I mean EBIT, this one is interest of alternative 1. Interest on alternative 1 eto 1 minus tax rate 0.40 divided by number of share of N1 alternative 1. It's same as interest of alternative 3 tax rate and number of share in alternative 3 1,05,000. Customize, minimize, adjustment and find 27,12,000 as a indifferent point of EBIT between alternative 1 and 2. So earlier I mentioned you that if you use this EBIT just like this 1 and 3, not 15 lakh, 27 lakh 12,000, then their EPS will be same. For example, this is the EBIT, prove it. Now we can prove it 27,1200, and taking information as earlier as before, tax adjusted, that then you can see EPS is same. So my dear student, this is called you have done correctly because both EPS are same. The definition of indifferent point of EBIT is such an EBIT that will make the same EPS between two alternatives, given alternatives. And you can make a graphical presentation by this. The third one is this. Make a line and this line, and this ground is EBIT and EPS. Look, 13.44 EPS. You need 4 things for making a graphical presentation. 1. Indifferent point of EBIT, that was 27 lakh 12,000. You need the EPS of indifferent point of EBIT, that was 13.44. You need the interest of alternative given alternative 1 and 3, 92 lakh for 1 and 3.6 lakh for 3. Look, first you have to draw a line, then just mark it. This is called 27.2 lakh. Look, just after the 25, so you can think 27.12 and this is 13.14, make and join together, and then just alternative 1 9 lakh 9.2 lakh, okay, line, and B alternative 3 3.6 lakh. This point is called break-even point. My dear student, I'm sorry for taking much more time. I can make it 2 classes, but I think I have spent a lot of time. In spite of this, if you are getting help from this, my effort will be successful. So far, I'm coming in next class with another topics, NOI and NI, then Modigliani-Miller hypothesis. So far, pray for me, pray for each other. Stay home, stay blessed. Thank you very much, everyone.